Rapfest Radio on rapfestradio.com. We're not number one. God is. We may not be the best, but our purpose is to lead you to the best. Jesus Christ. www.rapfestradio.com. Old school to new school. Classics to exclusives. Gospel hip-hop music and videos. Live video interviews Monday nights at 8 p.m. Monday nights at 8 p.m. Watch. Learn. Love. Support. Rapfest Radio on rapfestradio.com. Rapfestradio.com. Rapfestradio.com.
Change in our hearts. I did it because my heart is different. Spark a change in our hearts. Search our own hearts. Search our own hearts. Spark a change in our hearts. I did it because my heart is different. Spark a change in our hearts. Search our own hearts. Search our own hearts.
Yeah, grace and peace, y'all. It's great to be back. I never left, but I stepped off beat to get on the right track. Moralism was my former religion. Traded my self-righteous rags for a heart of contrition. Blessed is the man whose sins have been forgiven. There's no room for me to boast in my status or position. I deserve to be deserted, inserted into a casket, but instead I was converted and saved from God's wrath. Even though I'm insecure and introverted, I proclaim the good news through faith in Christ. My broken life is counted perfect. Who would have thought that true biblical discipleship would change my heart more than world tours or fancy titles did? Thought I was done with the rap, yo. Even reached a point where sitting down to write around was unnatural. My motivation is not the money or contractual obligations. My passion is persuaded by a changed heart.
Spark a change in our hearts.
I did it because my heart is different.
Spark a change in our hearts.
Search our own hearts. Search our own hearts.
Spark a change in our hearts.
I did it because my heart is different.
Spark a change in our hearts.
Search our own hearts. Search
It's
our own
tumbleweeds, they say my crew next. Yeah, like sweaters when the hood is gone. And I understand what they mean, but I think they understood us wrong. They got a misconception like the song Lecrae put us on. It's God who makes the movement strong. To his name all the glory belongs. Together we celebrate our collective success, but never use sharp positions to measure up our effectiveness. We could be on top of the charts, but still we lost in the dark. So instead we just playing our parts and praying for changed hearts. Listen, it's not the sound of the beat that turns the life around. It's not the way the rhyme flows. Had a live show that revives souls. No, it's the word of God we stand on. His power is perfected in our weakness. The spirit bears witness in the heart of the believer. So the artist is just a vessel. It's all about the redeemer. Dead men come alive when the gospel is heard. So the minister depends on God to work by his spirit and his word to change hearts.
Spark a change in our hearts.
I did it because my heart is different.
Spark a change in our hearts.
Search our own hearts. Search our own hearts.
Spark a change in our hearts.
I did it because my heart is different.
Spark a change in our hearts.
Search our own hearts. Search our own hearts.
And what I really wanna see is changed hearts. For so long my aim was off, but it's not about me, my gift or my skill. Hearts get changed when the truth is revealed. The truth is revealed. Hearts get changed when Christ is revealed.
My job, you know.
Yo, welcome everybody to Rapfest Radio, rapfestradio.com. We are here again on a Monday night. You just finished watching the Braille video. Got to make sure we keep you guys up to date with the latest and greatest stuff that's out there. Off the top, shout out to our sponsors, Grateful Apparel, gratefulapparel.com, holyculture.net, and also Pure Stream TV providing the stream for us. If you're watching us now, there's also a chat room on the site. If you have questions throughout the day, throughout the night, throughout the show, make sure you ask the questions. If you don't have any questions, it's cool. Just enjoy the podcast. Today's going to be a different type of show. We were talking photography here because I have, like, so far 3 powerhouse photographers from the New York tri-state area, New York, New Jersey. So who knows what's going to happen tonight? There's been a lot of talk in the background about
two powerhouse photographers.
You see what I'm talking about?
Oh man!
Let's pray. Let us pray, Father. Especially the guy on the right, Father. Yeah, well, we're excited, man. Next week, by the way, we have some special guests coming from Australia. And their ministry name is Crosswords. They're a hip-hop ministry from out there. They're actually going to be over at Flavor Fest this week as well. You're going to be out of Flavor Fest, so you'll probably get to see them. They do a whole big hip-hop ministry thing out there, and then afterwards they're going to be coming to New York. We're going to have them here on the air. That's next week, October, whatever date that is, the 7th. I don't even know what date it is anymore. I think it's October 7th already. They'll be our guests, so make sure you tune in and check out what Christian hip-hop is doing out in Australia. Tonight, like we said, we have some guys here that are photographers. You've seen their work on my page for sure, because they were all part of Rap Fest 2013, our 20th anniversary this summer. And they've taken some great shots, some shots which I just got yesterday.
Sorry for the delay.
But definitely we're excited to have them here. So I'm just going to let each one of them introduce themselves. Just tell us the name of the ministry you use, your ministry name for shooting, and also what church you attend, and then we'll take it from there. Either way you want to start doesn't matter to me.
I'll start. I use the name. My name is Jomil. I use the name Jane Ass Photography from Perth Amboy, New Jersey. I attend Abundant Life Worship Center in Perth Amboy. I'm the pastor Paul Sears. Sorry, I gotta mention that part.
Yeah. Otherwise you can't go on Sunday.
How you doing, Ruben Ronda? I represent Memory Shots. I go to the church, the Sanctuary Fellowship on St. Peter's Avenue in the Bronx. And my pastor is George Martinez. And that's about it.
What's up, everybody? I'm Steve Sanchez. I represent Steve Sanchez Photography from the Boogie Down Bronx. Attend Revelation with Pastor Timodoro.
Nice. The Harley driver. Yeah, man. So again, it dawned on me this past couple of weeks how exciting it would be to have a show with photographers on it. You know, every event, as artists, we love to go to events to minister and to rock the stage and stuff, but there's nothing like being able to go back and reflect on the event. You know, it's easy for me to come home and call my friends and say, yo, this guy sounded dope, this one sounded dope, this one sounded dope. But when you say, check out this picture, now it brings the event to life again. You know, it can happen with video, but video is kind of tricky too, you know. But photography just does something. If you capture the right shot, you really capture the moment. You almost feel like you were there. So what we want to talk today, we want to get real technical if we can for a bit, and then, you know, find out maybe different people's styles and possibly some recommendations for others that are out there, maybe aspiring photographers or photographers that have been out for years and want to know what other people are using as well. I don't know if anybody's ever done this before, get 3 different photographers, different ministries, and put them on, you know.
I don't think so,
we can hardly do this with hip-hop artists. Forget photographers. I'm a little scared. Like, we should have split you guys up or something. I just want you to know that there's been an ongoing battle back here between Nikon and Canon. We're not endorsed by either of them, but if one of them want to sponsor us, those are the ones we'll support as well. I mean, I'm just saying.
We don't discriminate.
It's all good. It's all good. It's all good.
We got the reversible shirt, right?
Yeah.
Canon one side, Nikon the other. Yo, but Steve, why don't you start off? Tell us a little bit like how you started in photography and how it turned into ministry for you.
I pretty much always like photography. I always had a camera, like taking pictures of family events, and it just evolved from there. I started getting into more serious photography I would say about 8 years now, where I moved to more pro level photography. Or where I actually started getting paid for my work.
That's pro level.
Yeah, pretty much. Once you start getting paid for your work, when someone actually wants to pay you for your work. I just took it from there. You know, I got into fashion photography. Is where I really started getting into photography, you know, heavily into it, more with upcoming models, the fashion industry, and I've lately kind of broken off from that, and have moved on to other areas where family events, weddings, a lot of one thing that I get called for, which is very popular, is maternity shoots. It's a big thing now. Baby pictures and stuff like that. And then up until recently, I said to myself, I was born and raised in the church, and I said, you know what? I said, maybe I should start using my talent, my skills, in the church, and coming into the church, and then I meet guys like these guys, and I said, wow, I didn't know there was so many photographers in the church, and it was cool, and I said, you know what, this is something that definitely, I could rock with,
Nice.
And try to break away from that industry, if you haven't been a part of that industry and you haven't been part of that world, you don't know what it's like, and like I said, coming into meeting guys like these guys over here, their work is great, and we talk a lot on Facebook and stuff, and it's like, listen, we need to link up and make a ministry out of this, and really offer our services, for the Lord, and just rock with that, man. It's great.
Good stuff. Ruben, what's up, man?
For me, I guess more at a serious pro level where I started reinvesting into photography, I would say about the last 2.5 years to 3 years. And I would say it started to kick off for me big time when I started taking my skills and reinvesting it into the church and into God's work, because I'll give you an example. Yesterday, a baptism to me was just a baptism back then. It was just like, all right, you got baptized. Good for you. I know it's a big deal. and I understand the gravity of it. But when you're taking pictures and you see people's emotions and you're kind of behind the scenes and you start to appreciate it and you feel a little emotion behind it and you're like, man, this is something that I really could keep going with, because it fills something in you. You know what I mean? And it's not something that anybody else can give you. So photography has been able to give me that through a ministry. I've done, a lot of charity events with World Vision. I've done churches. I'll give you an example. For Patrick, we're doing a free photo shoot for his church.
At Bricktown?
At Bricktown.
Oh, nice.
We're going to update their website with, portrait shots of the whole member body. And, I've done also for another church up White Plains. We've done another church on Park Avenue. And basically, that was my ministry, and I started enjoying it more and more. And then when you start taking pictures of people during a service, and they go off for praying, you take that picture when you're home, kind of editing it, when you're looking at it, you learn to appreciate it and have some type of gratitude for it. And you say, man, this was a gap that I didn't realize it. And you start to appreciate it more and more. And then the Lord just blessed me with having clients that I didn't even know call me and say, hey, I saw your work, I want you, let me know when you're free, because that's when I planned my wedding around that. I've had one guy replan his wedding right around his day. You know what I mean? I've had other clients, like I told you guys before, an Indian wedding, 4 days, and she was dead set on just having me alone. And you start to realize that this is a gift that God gave. You know what I mean?
Right. And you mentioned something that kind of like what I was saying before, when you take pictures of a service or whatever. Like, I was watching you, I'm sitting in the pit playing the piano, watching you taking pictures, and I see Megan, who's another great photographer from our church, our pastor's daughter, Megan Christie Photography. And she was taking pictures of people getting baptized, and you were capturing those moments when they came out and their family members were right there waiting for them. And I'm like, I came home and I was like stalking your page last night. I was like, he got to post something. And I was just waiting and waiting, because I know that those moments, they're only captured one time. It's you either take it or you miss it.
You lost it.
You lost it. Or you could say, "Oh, you should have seen it. It was nice." It's no good.
Yeah, there was a couple. They're engaged, and they waited for each other at the end. She got baptized first, and then she waited for her fiance. And I'm like, oh, I gotta get this. I'm getting goosebumps. I'm getting a little emotion. And I'm like, because this is something I could relate to. And when I finally got that moment, I'm like, man, I'm going to share all these pictures, but I'm creating a link, a Dropbox link for everybody to see, and an iCloud link for the iPhone users to have so they can download it straight to their phones. So that'll be up tomorrow by the afternoon.
Oh, nice. That's good stuff. I'm waiting. I'm gonna hit refresh all night. Go ahead, brother.
My turn. All right. I actually started shooting like from my phone. I was going through like a hard time in my life, and what was it? I picked up the camera, just started messing with it. Like I had a Canon, and a buddy of mine calls me and he says, "Man," he says, "Your pictures. It looks like you're trying to call out to God."
Oh wow.
So I'm like, so mind you, like my prayer life wasn't as it should be, you know. And I'm like, man, I took that into consideration. So I would go back and look at my pictures, and I would just look, and I'm like, man, I'm catching sunsets and sunrises and just weird stuff that can only come from God created things. You get what I'm saying? And
With your phone.
it started with my phone, and then I switched like to the Canon, you know. And then I'm like, wow. So then I was like, well, let me just go out and take pictures. You know, I travel a lot in my job, so I was like, sometimes I take my camera with me, or I go on my own time, just take pictures. I'd be like, all right, I set something on my map, and I'm like, I'm coming back to this spot. Go back to it after work, boom, catch that spot. Even if I'm driving an hour, I just became passionate for it because it was like a scapegoat for me. It was my escape, and a lot of times I listen like to worship music, and I'm taking pictures, and I'm like, that was like my connection with me and God, photography and worship music.
Sweet.
So then I'm like, all right, I'm getting better, shooting automatic, and you're talking about that, and you know, TV mode and all that stuff. But I was like, man, I gotta do something else with this. So then I remember my pastor saying one time, I'll never forget these words. He says, if you ever want to know your passion for something, plug that gift into a church. And it was like, boom. I'm like, man, plug it into my church. And then I was like, all right, we do your community church, you know, we shoot events. Started shooting events. And I'm like, wow.
That's nice.
You know, catching, like I said, I was catching these guys dump the ball. I caught this one picture, I'll never forget it. I caught it at an angle. It was a boy jumping in the air. He was just in the air with his hand up. Like, I just caught that shot. It was clouds and a beautiful sky, and you couldn't even tell. It was like he just jumped in the air. And that's when it hit me. Like, the Lord was like, this is where I want to take you, you know? And I just signed into a school, started learning how to shoot manual, because, like, now it's like people buy a Canon and I know how to shoot, you know what I mean? No, it's like, it's more like...
Because nobody buys Nikon.
No. What's
ding,
a
ding,
Nikon?
ding,
What's a Nikon?
Round one.
No,
Ding, 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 ding.
All right, the gloves are off now, so here we go.
So, you know, so I just started plugging in. I started learning, like, lighting, shutter speed, you know, and, like, now I won't shoot nothing but manual. Like, now it's, like, manual. And then one thing turned to another. I started doing, like, shooting my friends. Hey, can I take pictures of you? Or take pictures of your baby? And then it's turned into Sweet 16. Sweet 16 turned into weddings. Weddings turned into websites. And, I mean, it's just been, like,
A snowball.
So let me ask you guys, and anybody can answer this. Because technology has changed so much, before a wedding album was a wedding album. You know, you get a hard copy of a book with this fancy cover, and you open it up and the nice pictures. But now everything is so digital. Are people like booking and saying, I just want you to shoot and send me the digital shots, I'll take care of it from there? Or are you guys going all the way out? Or is that even an option anymore? Like, where are we now with that kind of stuff?
I would like to say, honestly, it all depends on a person's budget. I like to accommodate people. I didn't start this to make money, to be quite honest with you, but sometimes I stay in mind that my work is a quality that I provide.
Sure.
So some people, I'm mindful that they can't afford an album. So I'll turn around and say, I'll give it to you on a CD and I'll edit some of them for you. You know what I mean? God does put things in my heart to do for certain people. And then there's some people that I say, you know what, just pay for the album, write out the price, and this is for you. And I won't even charge for my time. But with today's technology, I accommodate even the people who have money. I have an album that has a built-in iPad, and they turn around and they pay for it, and it's an iPad where inside the album they have their top 50 to 75 favorite pictures, and in the iPad they have 2,000 extra pictures that they show of the table with the mother who came from Italy, or from India, or from Greece, and those kind of events. So technology is also a big help. You know what I mean? It is.
It kind of like lifted a lot of boundaries as photography is concerned, because before you had a photographer and you had to think, I need a studio where I can print this. I need a guy that could do this, who could do the album for me now. Now you would have to hire maybe 6 more people after you take the shot to get the job done. So a lot of stuff you could do on your own. So what's your favorite type of shots?
I like candid shots. I shoot a lot of street photography, and I'll go down, like after work, I'll just go out. I pretty much always have my camera with me. And it's funny because when I don't have my camera with me is when I see the moments that I wish I had my camera with me. You know? And the cell phone just don't cut it. So I like shooting candid. Like one of the things I like to shoot, two of the things I like to shoot that I find myself doing is I'm not gonna but two of the things I like to shoot is people on the cell phones. You get the weirdest expressions when people are like standing in the street. Like I'll go to 14th Street, Union Square, and in the middle of the street, someone is on their phone, and you'll get a girl smiling because some text she read or something, or some guy that's totally zoned out, and you get the like candid, expressions. I also like shooting couples. Couples is amazing. A couple holding hands, kissing, without them even knowing no one's around. It's just this, and that's the true essence of. I didn't want to say that.
We're looking at each other like,
You know what's so funny? Like I'll get home and I'll show my wife and my kids. I'm like, babe, look at this shot, and they're like.
They're gonna invade your privacy.
You're gonna get punched in the face when you
I'm sure you get that. Who's that? I have no idea.
I'm like, I don't care, but look at the shot. It's a great shot, isn't it? Like, they were just in the moment. It's like, babe, you have to stop doing that. You're like really creepy. But that's just candid shot. That's street photography to me, and I love catching the moment of someone. Even like in a wedding. The last wedding I did, with the girl from Revelation, Audrey Soto, I told her, you be the main photographer, I'm gonna be the second shooter. So what I did was I shot a lot of candid shots, like the bride's mother and father just on the corner talking about it, so without them even knowing I'm there. Because when you tell someone, let me take a picture, now they get into that pose mode, right. And now they're camera aware. Rather than when they're just don't know I'm there, I get that true moment of them just,
right.
And it's great. I love it.
I like those kind of shots.
It is. I enjoy that kind of stuff. It's good. I like it.
How about you? Well, you say you like the action shots, right?
I'm more candid. I don't shoot people when they're not looking. I used to, but I kind of stopped that now. You know what I like taking pictures of though? I like taking pictures of people taking pictures. Like who I call?
Chris.
Chris.
Yeah.
I like for some reason I gotta love catching people taking pictures.
Yo,
okay.
I like that.
Who wrote that? He don't know what he's doing. Or that was one of his friends.
That was one of his friends. Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's messed up.
So like I like shooting that. I like shooting just people moving. I really got a big part of me getting into photography was because I'm passionate about time. Time is the only thing in this life you can never get back. Like this hour we're sitting here, you could only get it back if you go, to the link or whatever. So I like capturing time. So anything that is memorable to somebody that has to do with time, I like catching it. Like I like being there.
That's great. Speaking of time, check it out. This is about time we play a little promo here. The Drop CD, holyculture.net. They put together this project called the Drop CD, where they get these artists to participate. And the concept behind it is we the people so into this project and they offer it for free. I know we've given it out at Rap Fest. Last year we gave out maybe 500 of those CDs at Rap Fest, and it's good quality stuff. So we have a promo for the upcoming project of the Drop CD, and then after that we're going to check out this video by my man Flame in the building. Check it out, and then we're going to come back. We're going to see we pull out some cameras and talk a little more technical about the cameras for those people that are watching and are trying to learn something today rather than just who's Nikon, who's Canon. But that we're going to find out in a second. Check it out.
Drop CD was customized for you. It's no accident that you downloaded it or that someone put it in your hands. Your creator is reaching out to you. He wanted to drop his message to you in this format. You heard people share how their story's been revolutionized by his story. But you know what? All of our stories, they start out the same. as we've all been born into this sin-sick world. Ever since the fall of man, when Adam and Eve sinned, we're born separated from God. Romans 3:23 says, we've all sinned, we've all done dirt, we've all fallen short of God's standard. We've all built up a huge amount of debt that we could never repay. There's nothing we can do to make it up to God, who is holy, aka perfect. So he took the initiative, and he loved us first, and he sent his only son, Jesus Christ, down to the earth. Because of Christ's sacrifice, we can now be forgiven. We can get a fresh start. We can get reconnected with our Heavenly Father through a relationship with Jesus Christ.
I'm putting it all on the table, man. 2P13. I'm all in. Yeah, 2P13. The whole team all in too. 2P13. Game over. KB. Let's go. R.I.P. to the old man. To the old man. Raised in the States, my chips in. My chips in. We 50 deep and ain't bluffing. It ain't bluffing. My poker face. Got on my poker face. Man, I'm so far gone like Pluto. Like a running back through that two-hole. I'm putting it all on that line, boy. Ninth in the Grand Slam, two-hole. All or nothing, no straight. Got the highest hand, no straight. Got a 10, got a jack, queen, king, and ace. That's a royal flush. If you ain't know what that mean, man, what that mean? Rally around me, man, been our king. All that mean is King Jesus gave us everything on that tree. Gave us everything when he died. Gave us the winning hand when he rose. 2 Peter 1:3. All things, Lord knows. All or nothing, see, I ain't bluffing and I ain't flexing, I'm turning up. They overrized them, they brutalized them, they crucified them, they strung them up. He resurrected, I rose with him. That great commission, I go get him. I'm so fishing, I'm so Christian, I still believe God can sober up. Anybody's sin, problem. Holy Spirit, gospel, got him. We just gotta be all in. It worked back then with Paul and them. I'ma stick to the script, I'm all in, go. R.I.P. to the old man, Raised in the States, my chips in, We 50 deep and ain't bluffed in, My poker face, got on my poker face, and we all in, we all in, we all in, tell them we all in, we all in, we all in, we all in, tell them we all in, we all in. If they asking, and we all in.
You can feel that? Every breath, every pump in my chest is a blessing. I'm blessed to get back to him now. Sits high, real rap, no lie. The impact, oh my God, cause I saw God back in 05. Want me to stay calm, you kidding, man, the cold high. I've been up in it for a minute, but when the spirit living in me, I'ma start and I'ma finish. And you gotta deal with it, us, making sure that you feel it whenever we step in the field. Fearing nobody, cause he ain't beat by nobody. Checked the tomb and found nobody. Get it? They found nobody. That's why I go so down that low ward and Kodo. I'm fighting for my country, that's the kingdom, man, you know though. Hold up, you can't bet our lives that we win, cause he said he'd get out that grave and look at where he's seated. We all in, we all in, tell them we all in, 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 tell them we all in, we all in. If they asking, and we R.I.P. to the old man, Raised in the States, my chips in, We 50 deep and ain't bluffed in, My poker face, got on my poker face, and we all in, we all in, we all in, tell them we all in, 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 tell them we all in, we all in. If they asking, and we
Yes, we are back. That was Flame, and also you saw the video promo for the drop CD, holyculture.net. Make sure you go to holyculture.net and download your copy or figure out how you can get your hands on that project to support the ministry. If you're just tuning in, we're here doing photography talk. One of the first times we do this on RapFest Radio. I'm excited because I think it's important for us to learn about photography as a event promoter. I know how important it is to capture the shots. You know, and I'm always stalking these guys afterwards. I'm like, yo, what's up with the pictures? What's up with the pictures? What's up with the pictures? You know, because we're busy at the event. We don't see everything, and I'm dying to see what other people saw at the event, you know. So it's really important. So I've asked them to bring out, I'm not going to say their gear of choice because I don't know if it is. We'll find that out. But I did ask them to bring out their gear. So I brought out my gear. I have here the top of the line, the Nokia Lumia 1020 phone, 41 megapixel camera. You guys have pretty much seen it already, you know, and nowadays, you know, and this is just me talking, just because you have one of these don't mean you're a photographer, you know, and I have to remind myself that, because I almost took, they were trying to book you for a job, I tried to get it, but it didn't work. But the camera's good, but there's a lot of stuff in here that I just don't understand. You know, because it has all these little things, and it's important for people to know that too, because I have seen people at events trying to, you know, document. They don't want to hire a photographer, so they get their best point and shoot cam or something and try to get good shots. If they don't look too good, then they start doing all these edits. By the time it comes back, it's like a chrome embossed picture. You don't even know who's on stage, you know, and they say, "Yo, that was dope, right?" Say, yeah, cool. So What I want to do now is let's go over the gear you have. Maybe why did you pick it? You know, what feature of the gear you have makes it your choice? So go ahead.
Start me.
Yeah,
well, for the event, I used a 17x40 L lens millimeter and a 35 L lens that I have there. I'm more like a candid guy, so I prefer prime lens. Prime lens meaning that you can zoom in, you can zoom out. Because it's a challenge for me. You have to be in the moment. You have to be there to capture the right picture at the right angle. You're too close or too far, you gotta get right there. I mean, it has its do's and its don'ts. Opposed to a zoom lens, you could be 30 feet away and you can just zoom in right there. But as for me, I like to be right there in the shot. This is a crop sensor lens. So even if I shoot with a 35 millimeter, it doesn't really give me a 35 millimeter. It'll be more like a 45-50. Because the lens is closer to my sensor. Like a full frame camera like that will give you the 35 millimeter look. Okay. So for me, if I shoot with a 35, it's more like a 50, kind of in that range. You know, it's like it's a lot of mathematical equation to it.
Yeah. Hope you understand.
Not having that zoom to your camera. Like for example, if I'm doing an event, I want the photographer to be invisible. I don't want you in the way. Not having the zoom, and you see something in the stage that awesome needs to be captured, but you have to get up close to do it. How would you do it? Because to me, it's a distraction. If there's something powerful happening on the stage. Depending on the event, right. Yeah, depending on the event, there's something powerful happening on the stage, and I want that picture because it's powerful, but you don't have to zoom to do it. How would you compensate?
That's a challenge for me, but that's what I like. I like to find a way where you won't see me and work an angle out. I'll shoot sideways, you know what I mean? Like I'll just find a way.
You got to become part of the worship dance.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying? No, it's weird because even for RapFest, I shot a picture with when Wit and Dre and Super on. Like I didn't have the courage to go on stage, so there were like two chains. I made those two chains my frame. I shot it right in between. Boom. Oh. And Dre was like right there in the middle of the chain, so I caught that picture and I was like, wow. So when I edited it, I kind of made it like the focus more on him. So then you just gotta find ways to try to maneuver it and make it look, you know, unique. Right. So
and that's done because you know your gear. So you know where you can stand, how you know your limits, or you know how close you get, how far.
And it'll bring my shots even closer, because if I take this lens and he'll use it, I can take a picture of this room, and it'll look closer, but he'll have a more aerial view because of his full frame camera. So you'll be able to see more off his camera. Mine, you'll see the same, but it'll just look closer. You get what I'm saying?
Nice. So, yeah, absolutely. Ruben, what you got there?
Well, basically, I'm a Nikon kind of guy.
A what? He's
a Nikon boy. He's a Nikon boy.
Let me see that.
This is how a real camera looks.
Shots fired.
He even has a pañuelo with it.
This is so I could clean the garbage around me.
Oh, it's that.
Wow.
So basically, this is a full frame camera, a 24-70 lens, 2.8. And it's important that we understand what 2.8 means. It's basically the amount of light you're gonna let in, and the speed of your lens to capture that moment.
The higher the number, the better, or the lower the number? What is it?
The lower the number, the faster, and the more light is gonna be let in. So it's actually backwards. So the lower the number, the larger the diaphragm opens up, and the higher the number, the smaller the diaphragm closes, letting less light in.
Okay.
So basically, the D800, which is one of the top of the line cameras that are out as far as regarding the Nikon lineup, and it's a phenomenal, fast, low lighting camera. Very 6 frames per second with a battery grip extender. It's about 8 frames per second, letting me capture a faster speed. I use also as well a 14 to 24 wide angle lens, which gives me a dramatic scene for weddings. Like I just did Mr. and Mrs. Hamlet and their wedding, and I captured this one moment where there's a coliseum behind them, and I was able to get the sky, the grass at a tilt and an angle, and it just gave me such a dramatic feeling to it that it was a great shot. So
I thought that was your coffee mug.
No, I had one.
Yeah, it looked just like it. Just like it.
But this is.
Might as well.
But I believe in investing into good lenses because they always transfer into better bodies, and he has great gear. You know what I mean? I think I always want people to be encouraged to. It's not what you have; it's what you could do with it. This means nothing if you don't have a vision, if you don't have something to move you, and you could spend like right here. We're talking about $8,000 right here. It means nothing.
Yeah, you give me that. I'm looking for the automatic button.
Yeah,
so
it doesn't even come with an automatic
Zoom, forget
button.
Zoom. I'm just getting close.
This one doesn't have an automatic button, and it's made for a professional weather seal kind of guy. But I encourage people to go out and start. If you want to buy, you don't have to buy the best equipment. Just go out and buy something. Learn. Make sure that this is what you want. Read a lot. Look at some YouTube videos. And encourage yourself to continuously carry your camera, and that's how you learn.
And I've met people that want to get into photography. They'll buy the camera, they'll spend a couple $100, and then it'll just sit there.
Or thousands.
Yeah, it'll just sit there.
Yeah, because it gets expensive.
Yeah, very.
It sure does.
Yeah.
8,000 here. Imagine if I didn't use this at home or know what I was doing. It'd be a waste.
You don't know what you're doing.
See that? I'm trying to be humble.
He's a Nikon boy.
I'll let an amateur talk now. Go ahead, Steve.
Oh, go ahead, Steve.
I shoot the Canon 7D. I got the 85 1.4, which is my favorite lens. Is on my body pretty much 90% of the time. I shoot mainly primes. I used to have zooms. I changed them to primes only because you get a sharper image. There's less elements in a prime a lens versus a zoom lens to zoom in and out for an image, and so I shoot the 85. I have a 50 millimeter, 100 millimeter macro, which I use for portraits as well. And those are pretty much the three lenses that I use pretty much all the time. And like Ruben said, I don't agree with him most of the time, but I will say that it's not really the gear. You have to know what you're doing. There's a post on Facebook that I see a lot that says that's a great picture. You must have a really good camera, and it's not so. You can have a very beginner's camera and capture a great image.
Absolutely.
Same way like I can put a top of the line professional camera in someone's hand that doesn't know what they're doing, and they're not gonna know what to do.
And it's the same with music. Like you could go to the most phenomenal studio, but if your beat is whack, it's whack.
Yep.
It doesn't
Absolutely.
matter. I don't care if you record it on an SSL board or if you record it on a 4-track. If the content is bad, it's bad.
It's bad.
That the gear doesn't. I mean, it helps. It helps. Inspires you. Maybe you get a little more creative if you have more more room to play with. But the bottom line is you got to know what you're doing with it.
Yeah.
Before we came on the air, we started talking a little bit about events. And what I've tried to do is, for us as a Christian hip hop community, be responsible and also consider the photographers. Because we think of it all, right? We got the big stage, we get the speakers, we get this whole sound system, the vendor table, the tents, the talent, and then 2 days before the event, yo, you want to come take pictures? You know, like, what would be the ideal scenario? Like when you go to shoot an event, and I'm the event promoter, like for Rap Fest, for example. It's an outdoor event, so it's pretty. We don't really have control of the elements out. You know, we're outdoors. You know, the most you could get is certain access that will help you. But for event promoters or even just regular church services, like, what are the ideal things we should consider when booking a photographer?
I think the ideal thing is, if you're gonna have an event where you want a photographer to cover the event, have the photographer come to the location, to the venue, the church, and take a look at the place. Give him an idea of what it is that you expect from him, what the venue's gonna be like, what the lighting is gonna be like. So that way he has an idea of what you expect, and he now has know what to expect once the event starts. I think a lot of times, like you said, someone's gonna have an event and it's like, you want to come take pictures, and we show up and we don't know what's going on, we don't know what to expect, we don't know what really you expect from us, what to do, where we're allowed to go, what we and that puts us kind of in an awkward position, so of course as photographers we're going to try and do the best we can.
Sure.
But then what happens is that then when the person comes back, it's like, well, you didn't capture this or you didn't capture that. Well, that goes back to planning. The better plan that you do, the better end result you get at the end from us.
Right.
But
so and I think just thinking as an event coordinator, if we booked a photographer for an event, let's say we booked a photographer for Sanctuary, and it was doing a baptism, but you go there so you know what it could look like, and if you wanted to come and see it before the event, I would have to bring you at the same time of day the event should be at, because the lighting from outside makes a difference if there's windows, right? With the stage lighting prepared, or if I would have to tell you, well, this is what we have now, but that day we're going to have 6 more cans up front or whatever. All of that stuff is important to know.
I think to me it's the photographer's responsibility, bottom line, to make sure he's fully equipped to accept the job. If you tell me, Ruben, can you cover a wedding? I can cover a wedding. If you tell me, Ruben, can you cover a baptism? I'll cover a baptism. You tell me, Ruben, can you cover a first birthday? I'm fully prepared to cover it and make sure that I can accept it. I always go a day before, a week before. I scope out my area. I check my weather on my phone. I bring extra batteries, extra gear. I make sure that I'm prepared for the circumstances. The only one thing I do ask between me and that one person or even a client is communication, and to be on time. That's all I ask for. Communication in a sense, are we gonna change venues? Are we gonna be at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock? Are you gonna be late? Do you want any particular styles? Do you have any particular interests or ideas that you want? And I'll make it happen.
Any must-have shots, right? That's important.
Exactly.
Did you get a family that flew in from the other side of the world that's only going to be here for 2 hours during the event? Let's take that before they leave. You know what I mean? So those are the communications that I ask for. That's my main
as opposed to them pulling you halfway through the event. Come take a picture of this guy. Take a picture of that one.
Right.
And that does happen.
It does.
That does happen.
I make a good point always to write down those shots that they want. I want a picture of them giving me the ring or us holding hands. So I have a list already. I have a list already. And I'll just bring my iPad with me and I'll just throw it around, pick it up, and I'm like, all right, what shot am I looking for? But in between other shots, of course, but I just have to make sure that I get those shots. So you won't hear that, hey, what happened to this shot or what happened to that shot? Well, Fulano de Tal had me taking a picture of them over here, and I could, you know what I mean? So at least you could.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I mean, and it's just important. It's important to be prepared. And I'm glad we did this because, like I said, it's easy for anybody to just go out and buy a camera. Correct. Naturally, you have the money, you buy whatever. The more you buy it.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, oh yeah, I'm a photographer because I have a camera. I know some people that have purchased great cameras and haven't taken a shot yet, you know, and they're just sitting like, it seemed like a good idea at the time, you know, and they just.
I'm still waiting for the great shot.
Oh wow!
Oh, man.
I'm gonna have to separate you two guys over there before it turns out to a brawl.
I think if he doesn't like send me a message on Facebook, like my day's not complete. Like, man, what's up? Is he alright? Is he?
You know what's really interesting and exciting about this is the way you guys are getting along. You don't know each other for a long time.
No. Just a few, maybe months, maybe. If
Did you guys actually meet at Rap Fest?
Yeah,
since Rap Fest.
Rap Fest, that was crazy.
Before that, I didn't like him.
He didn't exist. It didn't matter.
He was blocked on your Facebook, right?
Yeah.
Like who's
this stalker?
but like I said, you know, like I said, I didn't know. Like I met him, and same thing with with the rest of the guys. I didn't know you guys until Rap Fest, and I didn't know that there was so many, photographers within, the Christian community, which is great, And on our way here, he was saying, we should set something up where, we can reach out to more photographers or even people that want to learn
Christian ministry.
That cool. Because, it's something that's we should be able to offer, I think that within the body of Christ, we should be able to help each other out, and if the talent is there and we're available and we're there, why not?
Yeah, I know Travis was really encouraged by coming out and seeing all the photographers and then seeing all the pictures come up afterwards and people tagging him. And he was all over the place. He was all over the place.
Travis was great. I had a good time with Travis.
I had a shot of him shooting like with my thing.
I saw that.
Yeah,
I saw that.
Like I had him, like man. So
yeah, so it's good. And
where were you on a coffee break?
Let's continue.
Let's take a break.
Honestly, if there's anything we can do to help facilitate that kind of union with all these photographers, whatever, you let us know. We'll reach out to.
To me, I think like we were discussing in the car on the way here. The reason I truly wanted to do it was there's people in the church that may not be able to afford the semi-entry camera that costs $500, $100, and to be able to put a piece of equipment in their hands and say, you know what, give it a shot, try.
You might not want to do this.
You may not want to do this, or they might have a talent that you just uncovered for them, and if they tend to blow up and become famous off this, you were part of that impact, and that's something that I can say to myself, man, that was good. I was able to introduce them into something like that. I have 2 cameras, you know what I mean? And Chris, which is he's part of.
Actually, we're gonna bring Chris up in a second before we end. He ain't gonna get over.
His talent is phenomenal. He did the editing for Rap Fest. Phenomenal. I was able to, he's not a Nikon kind of guy. He likes the Canon, but I was able.
Thank goodness for that.
I was able to put the camera in his hands, and we were able to capture that video process and reveal it to everybody. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I would like to keep that going for people who are youth. Or even an older person who may say, you know what, Ruben, can I try it? You know what I mean? And just be like, go ahead, here's a camera. You know what I mean? By all means, if you want to learn, we can meet up on a Sunday after church and go grab some wings and hang out and
wings are gonna dirty you. The shutter button and stuff.
But and show them how to use a manual mode, understand the comprehension of exposure, ISO, shutter speeds and stuff like that.
ISO, what's ISO?
ISO? Go ahead, explain.
Well, it's how much light you control going into the camera, so.
Right, it's equivalent to film.
Yeah, it's like the same thing.
And shutter speed?
But wait, I just want to mention, the higher ISO, the less quality you take out of your picture. People don't realize that unless you have the proper. What do you
Unless
think?
that's what you want.
Yeah, so
unless
some people want those. Yeah, but you could always do that with editing. Also, get like a grainy shot.
Because the higher ISO, in photography, is called noise. Which is when you look in your picture, it looks grainy.
Yeah.
The lower ISO, the less noise, the less grain you get in your image. In film days, it was equivalent to speed. The higher ISO, the higher the speed the film was.
More frames per second. Yeah.
Yeah. But ideally, you don't want that.
You don't want to shoot.
You want
high
to try
ISO.
to keep your ISO to a minimum.
That's
less than 1,000.
Yeah, exactly.
Like in a church setting, for example, like you were saying, sometimes you're not allowed to use flash. certain concerts, the artists or the performers don't want you to use flash because it's distracting. So you have no other choice than to, bump up your ISO to be able to get more light that you would from a flash.
Yeah. But if you have a good lens, like you're shooting at a 1.2 aperture, 1.8, then you have that advantage where you don't have to bump up the high ISO because you got more light coming into your camera.
See, that's when it gets all technical.
Yeah. I don't know. Nike. I know it's like f-stop.
Right, f-stop.
I don't know what Nikon. If it's
the rule of engagement is all the same whether you have a Canon or a Nikon.
So it's all
a preference when it starts coming down to name or what you really, really want to invest in or you really want to start using. By all means, I like Canon. I think they have great quality.
You heard that?
I think they're
He lies like a rug.
but it's not my preference. You know what I mean? I like to specialize in photography. I think some Canons specialize in video. That's my opinion. You know what I mean? By all means, there's some phenomenal photographers out there that are famous worldwide that use Canon. And by all means, you have the same thing for Nikon.
Right.
It's all a preference and what you are comfortable with.
I've seen people use both.
Hey, what I want to do, Steve, I want to switch you out with Christian for a few seconds.
Come on, Chris.
The ratings should go up now.
Hey, but he's still a Canon man.
It's my boy Chris right here.
How's it going, guys? How's it going? How's it going?
Welcome. This is Christian. Christian is here. He's the one Ruben was just saying that he helped take some shots at RapFest as well. Actually, I'll let you introduce yourself a little bit here.
My name is Christian Aspiazu, and I know that I know nothing at all. I'm just happy to be here. I'm grateful. I met these guys. I met Bert through a church sanctuary fellowship out in the Bronx through some family members. He invited me out to RapFest. Here I am. It was exciting to be at RapFest. Like Steve was saying, it was a huge movement to see a lot of Christian rappers. I've been dealing with so much type of other people in this music industry. For example, like I want to know more about. I just found out about this group named Social Club. These guys are off the hook. And then I compared to people who I work with in the industry, like some kid named Travis Scott. Don't ever buy that music. Don't ever listen to it.
Wow.
Horrible.
You gotta love this dude, straight up.
You never want to deal with it.
That's true.
I'm sorry. It's just,
But he's working, and I'm gonna defend you a little bit here. You're working there with them. So you're speaking from experience, not just because you don't like the dude or whatever.
Yeah, it's like I try to compare artists, and then it's like I think about what I deal with, on a normal basis, and then I look at other artists that, a whole new market that I'm just opened up to me by meeting Bert and Ruben, my man, Jomil. Peace, Jomil.
Nikon boy, right here.
Nikon boy.
Memory shots.
I'm just happy to be a part of this movement, man.
But Christian is in a very interesting position because on his regular day job, you're exposed to a lot of the main secular artists that are out there with their music video shoots and crazy environments. Yeah. So it is like a whole different level. When there's no budget, it's always a different level. The budget's usually big, but again, it comes down to what you see and how you shoot. Which is interesting. But content is so important. Like he said, there could be stuff out there that's garbage. That's not feeding the soul any.
Yeah, this is horrible. What I saw this week, last week.
So
it's
passionate
disgusting.
about it.
And then you got big name artists like Kanye West, and they're like supporting this kind of stuff. And then it's just horrible. It's horrible. I try to understand it and I can't. And dealing with different artists that are in the Christian market, there's a lot of great talent out there that I would like to work with. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm here to support, RapFest.
Amen.
I think Chris closed a big gap for us. We were missing, I think, a videographer for so many years. Somebody into the Christian network that we can feel comfortable with and go to and say, hey, can you help us out?
Right.
You know, we don't have no money, but can you help us? Can you convey this message for us? And Chris took that over quick.
You know, and I know there's still a couple of edits. I don't know if we finished the edits on the little Rap Fest film that we put together, but once we get a real good edited copy, the final one, I want to play it because I was so impressed by what he saw. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. That's what I was saying before.
Everybody has their own story, correctly. Ruben has his own story. Steve has his own story. Jomil has his own story. That dude Travis I met, he's a great dude. He has a great story to tell. Everybody has their own story.
Yeah, because I mean, there was some shots that he's even just the panning on the boombox. I mean,
who would have thought of that?
Right, exactly. I mean, you have to know, you have to have a desire in your heart, like, this is what I see here today. You know, and that's what we want Rap Fest to be for everybody anyway. You know, we want you to hear one message, the gospel being preached, but everybody's going to receive it differently. Whatever situation you're going through in your life, this applies to you. You know, because that's how God is, right? It's the same God. We all have different situations, but there's only one God. And we go to him with all our situations, whether it be a marital issue, you know, financial issues, stress, whatever it is one answer for all of that. But we all go through different things. And like I said, when I saw the video shoot that he did, the little video clip, I was like, I told my wife, check this out. This is Christian. This is hot. This is hot because it's not your typical, the dude's on stage rapping, da-da-da-da-da. Oh, the kids are over there dancing. No, this is like, it tells you a story. It's like, it makes you say, like, man, I missed that event. I knew I should have been there. Yeah. You know, and that's the kind of stuff that he's been telling me that he wants to continue doing too.
Yeah, Rap Fest is huge. I'm wondering about when you introduced Rap Fest to me. My question to you is,
I asked the questions here.
Right.
I'm just saying. You just got here.
Steve, get back. Like, and you've done them all over New York City, right? Like,
well, we've done it in the Bronx.
Okay.
You know, I'm born and raised in the Bronx, and these are the kind of events that I used to go to as a kid.
Right.
You know, street jams, what's called street jam, park jam.
Okay.
No tickets, no ID check, just something for everybody. Music nonstop, big sound system. So, and you know what we felt in our hearts was like, this is what was missing. Like, we're saying Christian hip hop, so we got the Christian part right, but the hip hop part was missing. You know, so this like, bridges the gap between
like
what
the pioneer of Christian hip hop in the Bronx.
Events.
Events. That's huge to me. I just wonder if you ever see it like going to other places, like instead of just New York, why not go international? Like, you know, dealing with
I'm there for
Christian,
I'm there.
You know,
like, I got an extra camera.
New Jersey.
New Jersey.
Well, we, you know, it's all a matter of budget as well. Let's be real. We need sponsorship because to go just across the bridge, you know, each car is another $12. You know what I'm saying? So stuff like that starts to add up. Now you're talking sound, stage, artists,
permits.
You know, permits. For the most part, we've been blessed. Rap Fest artists come out on their own dime, you know, which is a blessing. This year we were blessed with some sponsors that covered some artists, you know, flights and hotels and stuff like that. But we don't pay the artists anything ever. This is all just them wanting to be a part of it. Wow. So that's a blessing for us. 20 years we've been doing this.
That's huge.
But you know, one of the things that we'd love to go out of town. We've been offered many times. Like, we've get called, yo, you want to bring this to Rhode Island? Said, sure. Bam, this is what it will cost you. It costs us nothing because we're here. Right. You know, some of Jose, Triple J Audio, they hook us up, give us a dirt cheap price. You know, Ambrose Sound with the stage, Bird, don't worry, I got you. Here you go, like low price. Because this, I mean, he had to cross the bridge with his stage. No big deal for him. And plus, he wants to sow into the ministry. Right. But now when you start taking it out of town, it's a whole different ball game. Now, and we've spoken about this on the air. I won't waste a lot of time on it. But we've told other ministries from out of town if they want Rap Fest, it can be done. Certain things that you need to have in place over there, and other things that we have to control from this side to make it an official Rap Fest. And you know, we have to check. You know, you have to make sure the sound is right, the stage is right. You can have your own sound, have your own stage. You know, but we'll take care of the event itself, because the event, the organization of the event itself is what makes Rap Fest Rap Fest. It's not just having hip hop artists. It's the whole, from the planning all the way to the execution of the event. and afterwards. But we did it once in Queens.
Yeah.
We went once to Queens and we did it there. It was a real small scale down
I'm
event.
thinking about Christian rappers all over the world. Like, I wonder, they don't have what we could get here in the Bronx. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm sure there's something out there, but nothing like Rap Fest as far as.
Yeah, I know there's some ministries that are making some moves. Like next week, by the way, and I mentioned it before, make sure you tune in. We have Crosswords Ministry here. They're from Australia. They're a hip hop ministry, and they do some street ministry similar to Rap Fest, similar to Flavor Fest, and similar to some other events out in Australia, which is awesome because it's out there. It's Christian hip hop, straight up hardcore, Christian hip hop. So it's out there.
Right.
Again, for us, as much as we hate to say it, that it's just a matter of money. Because if we had the money, I'd do Rap Fest Puerto Rico in a heartbeat. I think it would be great. There's I know a lot of the artists out there. The Christian hip hop artists that are in Puerto Rico. We could do all Spanish. We could do the whole Santo Domingo.
Would you fly photographers out there?
If there was money like that, we would make it part of Rap Fest.
And going back to your original question with today's technology and things going on, I believe that for the the four of us right here could possibly push that just a little bit more with a better picture, just a little bit more with a better video, so that way people could get the full appreciation to it. And I really do believe that now that I'm a part of Rap Fest, because before, years ago, I've known you for years, you've been doing it, I was always just Rap Fest. But now that I actually got to get behind stage, or I got to witness people talk about it, it's like, yo, this is Rap Fest.
That leads to a question that I wanted to ask.
This is big.
All of you were at Rap Fest, and there were other photographers there, and you weren't.
Yeah, there was people that I've seen from the Lower East Side. I was like,
each of you want to capture of Rap Fest? You understand the question? Because I saw like 6, 7 photographers all day.
Like 20 people.
Cameras, gears But what was your intent in being there, and what did you want to capture?
My initial move there was just to roam around and just take pictures. I went with Ray from Grateful Apparel. He was like, "Man, I'm gonna get you a media pass."
Nice.
So I was like, "Okay, I'll take that." So I was like, "What's to give me access to?" He's like, "Probably everything." So I was like, "All right." So once I knew I could get on stage, my favorite part of that event was the altar call. I gotta say, like that
was insane.
Like people praying. I caught a picture
shot of that.
Yeah, of this kid like with his hands up. Like when I saw that shot, I was like, wow. I took that. I'm like, praise God. Like, and I went to there's another picture I took. I was at Kingdom Choice Awards, Fudge.
Fudge, yep.
I took a picture.
One of core DJs.
Yeah, I took a picture of Fudge. He had a hat that said redneck on it. I thought it was cool, and I'm like, here you have a redneck praying for like an urban kid. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm like, man, that's pretty cool. So I caught it, and I'm talking to him, and I'm like, bro, you look so familiar. And another thing about photography, the mind thinks like pictures. You say camel in your mind, you already see a camel, right? You say tree, you think of a tree. Like that's how the mind works. It's like it's just like a camera, right? So I said, wait, do you have a hat that says redneck on it? He's like, yeah, as a matter of fact, I do. I'm like, dude, I took a picture of you. But, and to hear him say, like, man, he's like, bro, do you know how many people, like, gave compliments because of that picture? That, like, you can see, a redneck go to the Bronx in New York and be used and be led. And like, in that event, there was no color. It didn't matter who you were or what you had. And I was like in my head, I'm like, Lord, like I thank you for letting me be part of that.
Right, amen.
Like I was used. God was like, here, I'm gonna take you from here and I'm gonna put you here. Boom.
Even if it was just that one picture.
Even if it was that one picture, and I'm like, God, thank you for just like critiquing that. You just put it together, and I was like, man, to me it meant a lot. So
I think for me was that whole entire event. I even showed Bert a 70 to 300 millimeter lens. I was from the back catching it, from a distance, up close. I was jumping on stage, off stage, and I was trying to get the perspective of an audience, and I would try to convey that message. Then I would get on the stage and I was trying to convey the artist's message to the people, and it was like, all right, this is working out great. And then at the end, when, like he said, he did the altar call, and it just goes to show you can do whatever you want. If it ain't ready, in God's timing, it ain't gonna be impactful.
That's right.
So I had my gear, and I believe Steve was right next to me as well. I put my camera down, and I'm just focusing on what's going on, and I'm taking it in. and I took my iPhone out and I did the panoramic review from the audience all the way to the end of the stage where the DJs were. Just one big picture, and for me that was like the picture. That was it. All this equipment went for nothing. All those pictures to me were like, okay, good job. But that one picture from my iPhone, I was able to just capture that entire moment of people crying, worshiping, accepting the Lord, prayer, and then the artist is on stage as well, doing the outreach, what they came to do, and that message was impacted right there at that very end.
Awesome.
By the Holy Spirit.
My favorite part of Rap Fest was the freestyle when you had everybody like just
come up
doing just doing their own thing. I had so much fun shooting Rap Fest. I can't wait for next year. The reason why I went was it's weird how it happened. I got with some family, Cherry. You guys know Cherry.
Right.
Next thing you know, I was just happy to hear that I was going to be able to participate in such a huge event out in the Bronx. And I was just like, look, I can't wait to go shoot it. This guy, Ruben over here, Memory Shots, he's like, yo, Chris, I got the camera, come through, let's do this. It took like almost, I think like 2 weeks. I had fun editing it during the editing process because I kept trying to think. I was like, how are we gonna do this? Next thing you know, I'm calling Bert. We put Amberly's voice on it. It was just really dope capture that we grabbed. All of us, we all grabbed a huge moment in time. Here in the Bronx, and it was a blessing to me to be part of it because awesome. I had family that's been telling me for years, why is it that you don't, family that go to church on a daily basis, telling me, yo, why you never get, and the thing is, I never knew that outlet. I never knew it until I met all these guys here, and I'm thankful for being a part of it.
And then Steve had called me up. Or he hit me up on Facebook. Yo, I want to come to Rap Fest and just take pictures.
Yeah.
And I was like, sure, go ahead. So, what was in your mind? Like Alice was asking before, like what was in your mind for Rap Fest? Like,
you know what? When I've been to Rap Fest every year. Back when you guys used to do Rap Fest on Bryan.
Right.
And every time I made it a point, I had it on my calendar. Rap Fest. I gotta go Rap Fest. And it was great. I look forward to every year. And like I said, I hit you up and I said, yo, I just want to come through and just take some pictures. I'll give you the pictures. And he was like, yeah, come through. But for me, I'm a PK. For those that don't know what a PK is, a pastor's kid. And I was born and raised in a Rajatabla church. You don't know what that is. That is the kind of church where everything that was fun was no good, was bad,
And you're going to hell for it.
And yeah, exactly, yeah. Head first.
You're going to hell.
And for me, a big thing was capturing the altar call, capturing the essence of youth to youth ministry to each other.
Yeah, that's huge.
Capturing, I'll hold this thing if you want. Capturing, like there was this one young girl that I know that you ministered to, and that girl was just convicted from the minute the altar call started. That girl was just, the Holy Spirit was really ministering to that girl, and that girl was in tears, and just seeing the youth actually crying out. The shot that you talking about, the kid with his hand, that kid was like in tears the whole time. Yeah. He didn't care what was going on around him. He was just crying out to God. Whatever was going on at that moment, it was just him and God. And that's what I wanted to capture at that moment. And I wanted people on Facebook to see that. Reason why is because me personally, I have a lot of church people, and I gotta keep it real, that feel that rap music, whether it's Christian or not, is not Christian music.
Right.
And I wanted them to see this is what happens. This is the end result. It's not about the music. It's not about the big speakers. It's not about the DJs. It's about, at the end of the day, you know what? Lives got saved. Lives got ministered to. And I wanted them to see that. And I wanted to see, you know, tears coming down their face and saying, you know what? This is real.
Amen.
You know, and that's what it was all about.
I mean, that's huge. And I appreciate all of you guys coming out to Rap Fest and taking pictures. And we said it on the wrap-up show, like, you know, the Monday after Rap Fest, we had one last show before we took a break for the summer. And we had 2 ladies here from the prayer team. You know, that was our review. We didn't bring artists to say, yo, how was your set? Was it hot? Like, we brought the prayer team here. And they were like, it was awesome. And one of the things that they mentioned, and we'll end the show with this, is the best part for them was this one lady that came down at the very, very end. The altar call was like almost done. She came down, she kind of like tapped them on the shoulder, say, hey, listen, I've been upstairs listening to this whole event at my window. And when they said from the stage, even if you're upstairs, come down, we'll pray for you. Just tell us, we'll pray for you. She came down.
Wow.
She came down.
That's what's up.
And they were able to pray for her.
And that's what Rap Fest.
And you know, and at the end of the day, that's what it's about. I mean, naturally, we got to get the concert part right. You got to get the artist part right, the stage, the vendors, the kids zone, and all that. Everything else has to be right. But it's all preparing the stage for that one moment.
Yeah.
Even if it's for that one person.
Yeah.
You know, but that one moment at the end, which this year it almost seemed like everybody was like holding on and waiting until the end, and at the end everything was like,
yeah, big explosion.
Yeah,
awesome.
It's like next time we just do that in the beginning where you finish faster.
It came to a point where I was like, I gotta stop taking pictures. Like, I gotta take this. I really like sat and like ran in the back of the crowd, and I just like enjoyed the moment. I'm like, man.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at all those pictures from the altar call, a lot of people did video phone, camera phone pictures and stuff, and to see all the artists praying and some artists being prayed for, and I mean, it's amazing stuff, man. We look forward to next year, Rap Fest 2014, August 9th. We're looking to be back at the same exact location. So mark your calendars from now. And we're definitely going to try to do the best to continue spreading the gospel in the streets. And we are looking to add some more elements to Rap Fest. Who knows? Maybe we have a photographer type session somewhere the week before, the week of Rap Fest. You know, preparing others to come out and encouraging others to come out to take pictures as well. You know, maybe build a big network of photography. You know, maybe we can do a real official red carpet and have almost like a paparazzi type look, but really being a practice session for up and coming photographers. You know, it's not, you know, just things to think about, and I'll let you guys, you know, figure all that out.
The light, well, it's like, the lighting, the sun, use that as like a backdrop.
Yeah, I mean, we could do.
It's too much for him.
Yo, but
I'll email you.
I just told him on the Greek word.
Like, that's all I had to say. That's all I had to say.
I gave him my chair. I felt bad for him.
You might drop your camera, bro. Watch it.
But again, we want to thank Ruben, Christian, Steve, and Jomil for being here tonight. We appreciate you guys. We appreciate your ministry. You guys are awesome.
Thank you, Bert.
Ruben, memory shots in the building. Don't forget, next week, Monday, 8 to 9 p.m. we'll be here with Crosswords from Australia. They'll be here. I don't know how heavy their accents are, so
I don't know how much we'll understand.
I don't know. We'll understand. If their accents are heavy, you'll know because I'll be speaking Spanish. Back at you, brother. Yeah, but we're excited, and what we're gonna do, we're gonna end the show now with a video that. You'll probably love this because it's Social Club.
Nice. For real?
So check it out. Yeah, man, we got a Social Club video to end the night. Don't forget, tune in next week, Rapfest Radio, rapfestradio.com. You will learn us because we are out of control. Peace, and we out.
Peace.
Good show, man.
Good show.
Yeah. It's Social Club. Yo, this that punch that bully in the face. Music that'll make you say, if it wasn't for His grace, I'd probably have an early grave. Things don't ever go my way, but I'm just getting used to it. Rolling with my renegades, I've been this way since 2nd grade. I'm with a gang of gangs, animals, orangutans, Super Saiyan, kamikaze, kamikaze. I love Jesus so much I'll never stray. Prodigal son who left home without a place to stay. We the guys you love to hate. Yeah, we got this game into a frenzy and trying to make nights to them long days, them big lows. We built this from the ground up, now we send lows. Even when I doubted you was by my side. I used to be blind, but now I see. I used to be blind, but now I see. I can see fine, we made it.
AK, Kane up here, social club, misfit gang, you know what's up. Good city music, please don't judge. We already know that you know this us. Came in the game with a little bit of luck, a little bit of us would have been a little much. Stand in the middle of the clutch. Come to the show, leave with a bit of love. Yeah, that's how we do it. I'm right here, how you doing? I'm just living, I'm just doing me, chilling, cooling, you know, steez. But God is awesome, I gotta tell you, my God is awesome. I stand in awe of him, so high, I feel like endorphins are in my system. I wouldn't stand here with no petition. If God is with me, then tell me, then who's my competition? You know it's crazy, crazy like Norman Batesy. It's crazy when I think about the way that he done changed me. From the cradle all the way to the grave, he took my Walking Dead just like an AMC made scene. Yeah, some of y'all will get it, some of you won't. Either way, I guess I'm saying he just saved my soul.
From them late nights to them long days, them big lows. We built this from the ground up, now we send lows. Even when I doubted you was by my side. I used to be blind, but now I see. I used to be blind, but now I see. I can see fine, we made it.
This that boy that came from that church house. Then on my own, I hit them streets, ended up in that cell block. Now with stages in bellhops. Lord, I love you, Lord, I praise you. I was there, but you done raised me up to a place. When I look back, this view's amazing, huh? Wow. This beat from Jay's a gift, you see he laced it, huh? What up, Jay? The relationships we're building out of our spaceship, bruh, have been epic. Here's a couple I could mention, tell them again, have been epic. Here's a couple I could mention, like who? KJ52, he's Son Lee. Scripted this thing down in Miami, y'all had to see. And we didn't know anybody. The Lord gave us a mission, we took it, and here go the album. I hope that you like it. Jay Kardec on the drums, how you feel about it? The way the team is riding, probably see a mill about it. This the flow that tell him Jesus is the king regardless. He's the Prince of Peace who keeps me in my state of calmness.
From them late nights to them long days, them big lows. We built this from the ground up, now we send lows. Even when I doubted you was by my side. I used to be blind, but now I see. I used to be blind, but now I see. I can see fine, we made it. I heard that I'm sick, but couldn't get worse. I heard I'm blessed with a gift, but that my gift is a curse. To you this is great, to me this is dirt. See, I'm just sowing my seed, praying my trees go to work. Back to this hook in this verse, this hook in this verse. How he gon' ride them all up, just with a hook in the verse. I get my flow from the heavens, come down to earth just to flirt. Tell the DJ bring it back, like sing this hook in reverse. I'ma start a rap, I'ma start a vibe. They ain't making moves, rappers on a dive. We right now on that next flight. Y'all supposed to be next, right? Come join that YG and come see what the best like. Come see what the rest like. That wolf pack, that jet life, that all red deep dead life, that Biggie life after death life, that living without no regrets life, the best life. Misfit, I rap Christ, young girl. From them late nights to them long days, them big lows. We built this from the ground up, now we send lows. Even when I doubted you was by my side. I used to be blind, but now I see. I used to be blind, but